La la. Hello peeps and welcome back to Project Hospital. Welcome back to campaign 1, where we have been doing a bit of a night shift in the last episode, looking at all our patients that are currently in the wards and dealing with them so that they don't linger in the wards too long because we need the beds. But in this episode, I'm quite keen to build general surgery. Now, general surgery, we're going to concentrate on the clinic, but it's probably going to want hospitalisation as well. This is going to be chronically expensive. We're going to be borrowing a lot of money, but as I have mentioned in previous episodes, general surgery is a fantastic money maker, so definitely worth building. So what we would like to do, because in build mode here, we do have all this available, but I feel that this will be quite good probably to do some of it, but it's not going to house all of it. I think I like the idea of putting the clinic here, and it'll probably only take up a small part, but it'll give us room to grow should we need to. And I think I'm going to put hospitalisation upstairs because we're going to need the ward space. Effectively, we're going to need ward space. So what I'd like to do is build another floor. And you'll see that we have this beautiful roof design, and we don't really want to lose that. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, please add a floor. And it says copy tiles from the top floor, which is all these. Yes, I want to do that. And it says, would you like to copy all the walls from the top floor? Now we're going to say yes to this because I think it will give us the outside wall, but it also gives us all the internals as well, which is a little bit annoying. So sometimes I do actually say no to this, although in my settings, when I build foundations, I've made it automatically put external walls up and stuff like that. I've been messing around with the settings, so it makes things a bit easier, but we're going to go with this. There it is. So you can see it's an exact replica, minus all the items, of downstairs. Indeed it is. But what we'll probably do is remove all these walls. So we're going to bulldoze all these walls like so. That's what we are going to do. Now, we're going to borrow an absolute mess ton of money. And this is, so that's probably not even going to be enough, to be honest with you. I'd like to repeat, so you've got these doors here, we've got these doors. I'd like to repeat them. So we're going to go to doors, I think it's these ones. Yes, 2 away from the lift. Okay, I'm going to put those there so that people can get around. It's fairly important. It's fairly important that they can get around. Now, this is where it gets tricky. So I've got to make decisions now. I have to make decisions. Let's start with the clinic. So we would like general surgery offices. So we've got a couple of options here. We have a 6x6 or we have an 8x6 if we're going to use prefabs, which I am. Although we could build, I could show you the premise behind building one. Premise, not sure that's the right word. This one's 5,000, this one's 6,000. So I'm more inclined to go for a cheaper one. Now this is very similar to your GP type room. This is the walk-in clinic part where patients can come in off the street and be seen to for diagnostic purposes. This is what these rooms are here for. So we're going to build a couple of those because these can get fairly busy. And this is why I want room to expand, just in case we need to expand. Now, if you wanted to build this room from scratch and you didn't want to use their prefab, I don't know how to. I want to come out prefab. Oh yeah, sorry, it's this way, right? Although that's not what I want to do, is it? No, I want to do this. So we would build the room, put your walls up if you want. You don't have to. So you have to say this is the type of room that I want, so that the game knows what you want happening in this particular space. We haven't built the external walls, I'm not going to worry about it. And you can click on there and it gives you a list of items. And these amber items are things that this room needs to function. Then sometimes you get some yellow ones, which are, I think, just sort of good suggestible ones, good suggestions recommended for this room to often increase its function. This is very true, actually, of a really good room to show you this for is going to be the lab, the stat labs, right? So the stat labs, yeah, see here, it needs at least these things in it. But we can see we've got some yellow things. Now, these yellow things are additional machines that you can add to your stat lab so that you can actually do a wider variety of lab tests. So it means that when you're dealing with a patient, you'll have more options available on what tests you can do to help diagnose that patient because you've got these machines kicking around in your lab. But you don't need these in order to get this lab off the ground. The lab still has lots of other equipment so that lots of diagnostic options become available, but you can just add these later on. So if you're struggling with money, that can be a good thing to know. You know, that truly can be a good thing to know. Now, another thing about these required items is that there's various options, and having one of them means that you no longer need the rest of them. For example, we've got these 2 bins here. We don't need both of these bins. They're both biohazard bins. They just look a little bit different. This trash bin for safe disposal of biological material, and this is exactly the same. And they, but this one's cheaper at $59. This one's a bit more expensive at $149. So if we then place this particular one into the room, you can see now that we don't need the other bin. We've satisfied that criteria. It's the same here with these equipment cabinets. Mandatory equipment for all rooms where examinations and treatment procedures take place. But we also have this tool version of the cabinet. And we also have a wall-mounted version of this cabinet. So if you just pick and place one of them, look, it also included this mobile equivalent. We now don't need all those items. You know, so this is a thing, right? This is totally a thing. I mean, you can still put them in, you know, if you want to. That's not a problem, but you don't have to. So that's really, really great. And then we've got a sink here, but we've also got this sink which can go in top of cabinets, except it can't go in this one because there's lots in this cabinet. But if we had like a cabinet with doors, then we could always put this sink in, or we could put in a lab sink, or we could put in a restroom sink. But then once you've put in one of them, it's pretty good. And then some items are a bit different. So here we have a paper holder, and we also have a printer. Okay, so here it says that the paper holder is used to write prescriptions by hand, right? But you can also, or have instead, a printer, and the printer is used to print prescriptions. Paper holder is a cheaper alternative. So this is cheap, but it means it takes longer to prescribe prescriptions to your patients, whereas this one, okay, it's more expensive, but you get the prescription to them much faster and they leave. So there's a lot of detail in there as well about, you know, sometimes which items you use can have a knock-on effect of what you're doing. So yeah, you know, that's worth bearing in mind. We can see here that this already has the printer and it already has all the equipment, and it looks really nice. They've done such a beautiful job of already building nice hospitals and nice rooms that I just use them. I haven't really felt the need to constantly build my own rooms. That being said, when we do come to build or when we do come to do the sandbox large hospital, there'll be probably a lot of me tweaking it more how I want it, for sure. Anyway, so we're building general surgery, and so general surgery is going to need a waiting room. Now, the number in red means that you have to have this. So to get this department running, we have to have a waiting room, right, which we can put here, and we have to have at least one doctor. All right, so let's see, we've got it on day, which you can also change here. Now they're going to be doing diagnostic work, so now we can see Michael here he's got no hidden traits. We know his trait. He's a diagnostic genius. He has extra talent for diagnosis. He also has the specialised skill, because he's a specialist. He also has advanced diagnosis. It's only at 2%, but he's also just a genius in this area. He's expensive, but he's worth every penny. So we're going to get him in. It also means that he'll be able to do that differential diagnosis, which I, as you know, am a huge fan of. So we're going to get him in. Oh, look at this. Objective for insurance company has been completed. Open general surgery department clinic. So our reward is 20 more clinic patients a day coming in, which is pretty fantastic. And this doesn't, again, a bit like the clinic downstairs, this doesn't operate during the night. So we don't need all these other things, but it does mean at the moment that anybody that's waiting here, anybody that's waiting here currently has nowhere to sit, no way of dealing with their needs. If they need to go to the toilet, there's no restroom. They'd have to go to a different department. When he's tired and he wants to recharge, he's got no common room to go and relaxing, so he'll probably get quite unhappy. We don't have a stat lab, so he'll be very limited on what diagnosis he can do, and the whole place will get filthy. There's nobody cleaning this area either. And without a reception, there's no triage in place, which means that if somebody comes in who's in a really bad way, they won't be prioritised to the top of the queue. They won't be necessarily sent to a more appropriate department or anything like that. It's a bit of a, so yes, it will work on this. We didn't even need 2 of these rooms. We could have just built 1. But this department won't work amazingly well like this. People will be fairly unhappy with this setup, which isn't the best. How much is a lab so that we could increase? So we're in general surgery. We've got all these rooms so you can build on general surgery, but this is the only surgery lab that they have available, which, as we can see here, is 20,000 doubloons. But, it's pretty good. I think we're going to build it. Boom, there it is. So we have built this. And what I'd like to do, we probably will just build the clinic today, and we won't worry about hospitalisation, but I'm sure this will come up. So what we need to do, we need to go to daytime, and in here we would like to get a member of staff working in here. Now I can see we've got a lot of hidden traits here. What we can do is we can pay an extra 1,000 to refill these hidden traits. So here we are. Now the one I'm looking at most is Fraser Garcia here. He's the one that I'm interested in, and we have got here that he is depressed, and he's also a new parent, which means his levels decrease faster, and he tends to be unhappy. And he's a germaphobe, so it takes even longer in the bathroom because he washes his hands 3 times. So, but he does not cause discomfort during examinations, which can be really great for a diagnostic doctor, but he just runs tests all day. He doesn't do anything with patients. So, not the best. Patricia here is not great because she has an alcoholic issue. She's an alcoholic, and alcohol and medicine just doesn't mix. She's often late to work as well. Apparently she also makes a good boss. Sure. Now what we can do if we don't like any of these is we can spend 2,500 doubloons and get the hiring agency to give us a new selection of PEEPs here. So what have we got? Again, we've got a bunch of hidden traits, so we're just going to unlock this. I think it's worth spending the money. I really do. So let's see here. So now, Michael here does have the depressed trait, but he also has nice staff. So he gives the nice staff modifier after interacting with patients, which he will interact with patients. He moves quickly, which is great for a stat lab, particularly when it gets busy. And he's leveling his skills. But his leveling his skills are much slower. I don't care about that. He's a slow learner. I don't care. That's absolutely fine. So I don't mind this guy at all. Although he is working towards cardiology, but it's at 0%. this cardiology. It is at 0%, so I don't worry about it so much. We also have Lisa here. She's a hard worker, but she is also a new parent, so her levels decrease slow, and the stat lab can get really quite busy. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get Michael, but what we're going to do with Michael is we are going to change this to advanced biochemistry, so that he can start specialising in this department. And for now, we are going to make him look after clinic and hospitalised patients, because at the moment we don't have hospitalisation. When we open it, he'll have to start dealing with their stuff as well as the clinic patients coming in, and that can start overwhelming a department, and you need to keep an eye on that. You really, really do. But for now, he'll be absolutely fine running this. So we've got that. Oh, another thing that you can do is you can customise their outfits. So we could say that we want particular departments in particular colours, but I've got so used to seeing doctors in white and technologists in blue and nurses in pink and janitors in orange that I can't change it now. But there is a dress code thing. You can customise that should you want to, which is pretty nice. Now we're going to make him the boss, Michael Walker, because the boss thing is important, because with this satisfaction, you can see here it says has boss plus satisfaction. So having a boss is worth having, definitely. I feel like we should put a restroom in. Fairly important. There's going to be a lot of people in this area. It'll only get busier, so we're going to have a prefab of a restroom. So we're going to pop that there. Now, I do feel that we should have a cleaning closet. But I want the cleaning closet to go here, and I think their prefab might be too big for that. So I think we might build our own cleaning closet. Let's see here. Cleaning closet, I think, is 4. Yeah, look. So it covers the door. So I don't want that. What we're going to do is build our own. Hey, look, we're actually going to build our own cleaning closet. So we're going to have to pay for more wool, because I've done undecorated wool for some reason. So surgery. Now we want to make sure that we are building a cleaning closet in general surgery. That's very important. So we're going to do that. Currently, it's not accessible because I've not put a door in. So what we'll do, click on the room, and we shall select a door. We're actually going to make this a restricted door. They shouldn't go in here. It's the same with the stat lab, actually. What we might do is remove these doors and put in a couple of restricted doors. What I don't like about these restricted doors is this is backwards, and you can't flip the item. Flipping the item doesn't do anything in this particular case. It works if it's on that wall, but on that wall it's all backwards. It's pretty poor, isn't it? It's pretty poor. They should really do something about that. So anyway, it's enough of my complaining. So we can see here in the cleaning closet, the only thing that we must have is the shelf. The shelf denotes how many cleaning staff you can have in here. So if I only have one shelf in here, what the hell? If I only have one shelf in here, I can only assign one cleaning staff member to here. If I put in 2, I can have 2 cleaning janitors in here, 3, and so on. So we're going to have 3, and we're also going to give them these. Now they don't need this, the bucket cart, but the bucket cart for janitors who take it with them when cleaning different areas. What? Bucket cart for janitors who take it with them when cleaning different areas. They do. I don't know if this makes them more proficient cleaners. I would have thought it would make them it would improve their cleaning, but I actually don't know if that's true, but it certainly looks cool, so we're going to go with it. We'll give them a bin. It makes sense to have some bins in here, and what we will also do is we're going to give them a lab sink. Actually, shall we put... No, we will. We'll put a lab sink in so they can wash their hands. That might be nice. I'm just thinking that we don't actually have any cabinets here, which just means it looks a little bit rubbish, no? So we might do something like that just so it doesn't look as bad. Now, it might be worth decorating it as well. So what we might do, we might go with tiled bottom half but white at the top half, and then we'll also put in a white tile floor. There we go. And then we need to put staff in it. So again, we'll only probably worry about it in the day because nobody's going to be here at night at the moment doing anything. So let's have a look at janitors. So janitors have their efficiency rating. Joseph here is at 17%. Efficiency affects how well janitors plan when cleaning different rooms, and their dexterity affects the speed at which they clean. So the higher these two percentages, of course, the better. We've got Karen here, who's a scholar and uses her free time to study. So we really like her. She also has efficiency at 48% and dexterity at 27%. And of course, as they work, they do gain experience, and this percentage does increase, so they get better at the job over time. So we're going to get Karen Young in. She's pretty good. I like her. Now, we don't have a common room for our doctor and our tech lab and our janitor, so I feel like we should probably put that in. So that's what we're going to do. Now, common room's pretty expensive. Oh, actually, it's not too bad. 3,800 doubloons. We're just going to pop that here, I think. Boom. So they've got somewhere nice to go. And the last thing I'd like to do for the clinic, I think, although we do need to sort out the corridor a little bit, is a reception area. So I think what we'll do is we're going to put a reception area here. And also this corridor. Now, another good thing about the this is a corridor, not a waiting room. We're going to extend the waiting room. Actually, we'll leave the waiting room there. Now, the thing about the corridor is it's worth assigning the corridors in your department, because the janitors will clean where corridor is denoted, but where it's grey like this, they won't. And people are going to walk along here, so it's going to get dirty. So I'm going to make sure that our janitor does clean for people coming out of the lifts, even though some of these people are going to be going into X-ray over here, into radiology. In fact, what we could do is we could change the radiology department, because this corridor isn't set. And what we could do is actually this is a waiting area. We could say, hey, why don't you clean this lift and share the workload, and you can clean also half of the reception that I'm building out here, even though it's the reception to a different department. Just deal with it. So reception then. So I would like a desk for our reception. So we're going to pop that there, I think. And we're going to pop that there. I'm going to build it up. There it is. I think we're going to, so because I want a receptionist there, and I've noticed that downstairs, look, they've got these beautiful windows, floor to ceiling windows, and I'd like to repeat that up here. I think that's quite nice. Excellent. Now, they need a PC. Makes sense. And we should probably give them a chair. And I've noticed that they're using this lovely blue colour for this department. So we'll give them a nice blue chair, a light blue chair. And then we do need somewhere for people to sit. So what we should probably do is increase this reception area a smidge. What we'll do is we'll actually bring it down here. Yes, I think we'll do that. And actually, we'll make this whole area part of this reception. That's what we'll do. Make this whole area part of this reception, and then we can we'll put in some fancy chairs, because we've got 3 different options here for chairs. We've got like these double ones, which is they're quite cheap, this being the cheapest option, although yeah, it works out 2 of those is about the same as this, but we might go with the fancy chair, or should we can't really afford it. This might be all right. I was just thinking, because we don't have, it's a bit weird to be doing this. They don't stay here for very long, is what I'm thinking. There's no need to have lots of chairs here. We might just do that. I'd like them to be able to deal with any needs. So we could... What's the problem here? Water dispenser is blocking another object. The lift, I suppose. Fine. We'll put the water... Oh, I suppose it could go there. Go there. Should we put another water dispenser over here? Balance it out. And then a vending machine is always nice. Let's have a blue one. We'll put it there. We'll put it there. And we might also give the receptionist a card file cabinet, just so it looks like she's got stuff going on back here, you know. That might be nice. We could also look into other bits and bobs. So we could give her like a plant. Look, we could give her like a little cactus to look after. Do you think she'd like that? A notice board maybe for her to read things. We could probably do that. And then we know that downstairs they have a bunch of these plants, so we might put a couple of those plants in like that. I've got to be honest, I'm not sure about that last one. So she's got plenty of room back here. It's not so bad, you know. We could give her a blue lamp. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. So the other room that we need to deal with is the waiting area, and we've already discussed in a previous episode that this is worth having, this queuing machine. So let's put the queuing machine in. We'll put a couple of televisions that goes with it. It absolutely needs a television to work, but we'll probably put a couple of those about the place. And we'll stick with these cheapo chairs. So we're going to, I think, probably put one here, here. And we'll put some here. That's great, because again, we're going to want people to be able to deal with needs. So what we might do is put a vending machine at the end here, and we'll put a water dispenser next to it. That'll be quite good, which means we could probably get in a couple more chairs. Although, if we lift up this wall here, another thing that we can do is mess around with these stickers. So this is a stat lab that we have here, so we could put that there so people know that this is the stat lab, you know. We could move this television up one, and we could just put this here to say, hey, this is a toilet, you know. I mean, it's pretty nice. It won't let us put it there. It's just, maybe we could have put some pillars in. You can be like pillars. It might look a bit weird though. Maybe I could have put a pillar. Then she wouldn't have been able to get in and out. But we could do like instead of a pillar. Just mucking about now, aren't we? So then we could always put a restricted door on here. Oops, that was silly. Put a door in the wrong place. There we go. So only she can, or he can, get into the little reception area that we've created. We could even bring this desk forward a little bit like this. Oh yeah. Giving them a little bit more room back here. I think it's pretty nice. I like it. I like it. It's working for me. If a little weird. But I was just thinking that we could then put the stickers on here, but of course I've put loads of stuff in the way. So I can't. I still can't do it, and I didn't build the pillars. That's fine though. You get the point. So the other thing is that you might want me to decorate this a little bit. Big old building episode, and this is why I didn't want to do a sandbox series, because this is how the game always pauses. You can't, whenever you're in management mode or build mode, the whole game just comes to a grinding halt. It's very immersive breaking, and it's an aspect of the game that really annoys me. So it's a bit of a shame, to be honest, that it does that, but it does, and there's really not much that we can do about that. So I thought what we might do is just have an episode of where we're doing this sort of stuff, okay? It's not so bad like this. If we break it up a bit, right? So what I'm thinking is that we should continue their motif a little bit. So as this department seems to have a lot of blue, we're going to pop in this blue line, like this. Okay. And we can have it coming across reception. Actually, we could even have it going right back there. And it could come across these lifts like this. I've seen them do this before, but we've got the where it's squared underneath, but we've got the line here in front of reception, so I think we'll leave that for now. And then in front of the doors, we'll just put normal white tiles. So that's quite nice. That's not too bad. And then what we can do is the walls as well. So again, we might just go with their blue, and we can see down here, look, that they've got this. They tend to use this one. So let's keep it matching, shall we? Do this. Make it look nice. This, we're not using this area at the moment. People may actually come up here though. So what we might do, because this could get dirty. So what we might do is just increase where the janitor cleans down here, just to make sure that it gets done. We do need to hire a receptionist. It says here missing staff, which comes up along the bottom when you hover over a room, missing staff. So we do need a receptionist. Now to have a receptionist, it is a nurse. She needs to have this receptionist skill. So I've got a couple of receptionists here. Let's have a look. Right, she's an alcoholic, which I'm not exactly excited about. She's a hedonist, so she takes a lot longer to eat, and she can be late for work. Not great, actually. Not great. Pretty disappointing, in fact. But I think we'll get her in to save myself spending $2,500 on getting another nurse in. Yeah, and she wasn't replaced with an alternative option. Fine. Absolutely fine. So, yeah, we've got a reception. This reception area could do with being decorated. They've gone for this department here. You can see that they've input arrows in and done little stickers to that department. So we know that, but we've got two departments joining this, right? We have two departments here, which ruins it a little bit. But this is general surgery, which is this one here. Shall we? We could do that. The water thing interferes a bit, so we can only put it on one side. But hey, that's okay, I feel. But what we might do in terms of wall is keep it a bit more neutral, maybe. We might go with something as this sort of hideous wall that we got. Oh, we could do. This is pretty neutral, right? Oh, no. I thought I selected it. I thought I selected this one. It didn't happen. Shall we waste all of our money again? I'm thinking something more neutral like this. So it's not really specific to any apartment, even though we've done the blue floor. That'll do. That'll do, right? Could we change the colour of the line? We could, look. So we could change the colour of the line. Like this. And actually, looking at it, I might get rid of this here. Like that. Quite like that. There we go. There we go. So it's been a long episode of just building, but I hope that we've managed to I've managed to help understand building a little better, and what we're doing here, and just a little bit of information as well on general surgery. I like that they're all going home because it's technically the nighttime shift, but the daytime shift is about to start in minutes, so they'll be coming right back. It probably won't be too long before we do need to do the hospitalization part and do all the wards, but which will involve some building, but then the building should calm down again and we can get into the nitty-gritty of actually running the departments. So yeah, Project Hospital is going quite well. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, please hit that like button. As long as you are here, why not take your first step on the path to total coolness by supporting me via Patreon. The cooler you are, the harder I work, which means even more SHIZWAH.